On to our next topic. In Britain, the government's charity watchdog has launched a series of formal investigations into local aid organizations amid concerns that they are at risk of being hijacked by terrorists in Syria and Iraq. We are joined from London by i24 News correspondent there, Jonathan Sacerdoti. Jonathan, joining us on the phone. Good morning to you.
Good morning now.
Now, this is basically all over the British press. Just, run us by the intricacies of this. The watchdog group is checking into money that has already been actually donated by the British public, and then supposedly these charities, knowingly or unknowingly, have funneled it to organizations such as ISIS?
That's right. The British Charity Commission has unveiled that it is carrying out numerous investigations into charities in the UK, which people have been giving money to, believing they were helping the needy caught up in the fighting in Syria. But there is some indication that some of these charities, and a record number, might be actually funneling some of those funds towards terrorist fighters in the region.
Now, and this investigation is coming about because of what? And what is the reaction in Britain to it?
Well, the reaction is that people are very shocked to hear that the money that they're putting into charities, thinking it was for aid for civilians caught up in fighting, might actually be going towards IS and similar terrorist bodies. But those in the know have often suspected that this is the case, and Britain has long been seen by many as a place where charities were able to fundraise behind a smokescreen so that they could then send money to terrorists. You'll remember that we covered not that long ago the Muslim Brotherhood presence in the United Kingdom and how that was operating from within a shop in London, not far from where I am right now.
Yeah.
And that was exactly. And that was actually part of this larger picture, which is that certain Islamist groups are able to operate from within the United Kingdom fairly easily. The Charity Commission, some are criticizing it even still, despite these groups that they are investigating now, because often it will conduct these investigations, but then its reports in the past have said things like, we've been to the premises of the charity, we found photographs of the leader of the prescribed terrorist group up on the wall, or we found on their website lists of people they are listing as martyrs who are in fact suicide bombers. And then the action they take tends to be, according to their own reports, to recommend to the charity how to remove these posters, how to remove these appearances of links to terrorism, but no actual penalty taken, no actual sanction put onto the charity. So the Charity Commission seems to be operating under the belief that sometimes a good charity goes bad because rogue people working there are somehow making these connections with terrorist or extremist groups, supporting them somehow, when in actual fact, certain activists I have spoken to suggest that the problem is much bigger than that, and some of these charities are set up for the sole purpose of funneling and cleaning cash that might be sent towards terrorist groups. Of course, it's important to say that the Charity Commission has not actually given an outcome on any of these investigations yet. With these charities all under investigation, it remains to be seen what they will find from their looking into the records, the processes, and the practices of these groups that they suspect might be terrorist groups.
Right, and they found out at the end of the day, that means that British, public money funding, the exact same cause that Britain is part of a coalition to fight. But there's also arguments, there's criticism about a lot of charities. I think one of a polarizing thing is also charities that go to Gaza, but that's a sticky point because in Gaza, at the end of the day, the Palestinians have elected Hamas, yet money is not allowed to be given to them. And there's a bit about Sir Galloway, and we'll show you that in a second, and then I want to ask you a question about it. Let's take a look at this video.
Years of experience fighting Israel.
Want to face me in any court? Let me tell them live on television. I personally am about to break the sanctions on the elected government of Palestine.
Now, Jonathan Sacerdoti, i24 News correspondent in London, joining us. That was Sir Galloway, right? What is the polarizing bit about that? Because there's no information that charity goes straight to terrorists, but that's a sticky point because it depends on how one views Hamas, doesn't it?
That's right. And in fact, Viva Palestina, which is the charity of George Galloway, is currently under investigation by the Charities Commission, which has put in place an interim chief executive to replace the charity's chief executive and has frozen its bank accounts. However, I asked the Charities Commission if this was one of the charities that were reported it was looking into for links to extremism, and they say they have no comment on that while the investigation is ongoing. So far, their press release indicates that all they're looking into with Viva Palestina, that particular charity, is the fact that since its inception, it's not been good at providing any kind of account to the Commission, which is one of the obligations of charities registered in the UK. However, that video is pretty clear. Mr. Galloway made clear exactly what he believed he was doing in that video for everyone watching to be able to see. And this is the issue that we're dealing with, whether or not there's a difference between giving
that or not. Jonathan, sadly, all the time we have, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us. When we get back, the American Supreme Court divided in a historic